What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, I'm going to be breaking down what happened with the markets. We're going to talk about bank earnings and preview a few more of them. We're going to take a look at Netflix. We're going to talk about rates, the VIX, and much, much more, plus that one stock that I'm watching right now. So with that, let's dig in. All right, traders. So on Tuesday, the S&P closed down almost 25 points. The Qs managed to be up on the day. The Dow down 400 points. Tuesday was a day where there were not that many winners, a lot of losers, but the winners were mega caps. Big winners we saw were NVIDIA. They got clearance to potentially sell in China. AMD, they're another clear beneficiary out of this. And Broadcom, basically chips. We saw a little strength out of Apple, although it did give that away as the day progressed. And in fact, if you look at the end of day selling that took place, where the S&P, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, where the S&P went from flat to down on the day, directly related to Apple. I'm going to show you that in a second. But, the S&P opened really strong on those bank earnings and on some economic news, and then just died and basically sold off all day and closed on the lows. If you monitor what happened with Apple, you will see the same pattern. Look, pretty strong, gets hotter and hotter. And then the way we sold off into the bell is what drove the S&P, the Dow, everything lower. All right. Qs were strong all day, gave a bunch of that away on, again, Apple selling off and some softening in some of the other names that were really up. VIX, still just kind of hanging out here. It expires on VIX expires on Wednesday morning, those July futures. It did close near the highs of the day. Why? Again, we got that nice selling into the close. The term structure, again, we're going to see VIX expiration on Wednesday morning, which should be interesting. Still a nice over 2-point spread between August and the cash. I think there's some real opportunity playing August in VIX. Oil, I'm going to go back to my multi-day view. Oil, seems to have, after getting tanked, getting a little bit of a rally, seems to be petering out a little bit. We see some weakness there. Again, those industrial stocks did not look great on Tuesday. And, I've been telling you, I really like the IWM. I still do, but it has not had a great few days. It gets down toward 215. I will probably be looking to back up the truck. That said, with all these earnings, everything going on, and JP Morgan opened higher and then dropped. Fargo had a bad day. Citigroup, which was real strong, even gave a little bit away on its earnings. Coming up tomorrow or this morning, I have Goldman Sachs coming up. It was down $10. We have Bank of America, probably the most interesting of the names because of how much it's underperformed the rest of the industry over the last year. And we have Morgan Stanley. Bank of America is like the new Citigroup right now with how poorly it's performed. Wondering what their earnings are going to look like. Right now, if you look at bank trading $46, the market is pricing in, this will take a second here, about a 3.25% move, about in line. It has moved about, on rallies, it's tended to move more or as much as is priced in. On sell-offs, a little bit less. So, if it's down, might not be worth playing that momentum. But if it's up, could be fun to potentially ride, because it does tend to get a little bit of a lift when it breaks out of when it has a really nice set of earnings releases. So what is the stock I am paying most attention to? Nope, not Nvidia. As great as Nvidia has been, it looks a little bit toppy here, a little nervous here. It's not AMD. As strong as that looked, it is in fact Broadcom. Broadcom, after getting sold, is breaking highs and doing so without gapping. Looks like it's going to $300. I like this one. Higher earnings are not until the 4th, so you've got plenty of time to ride this. That to me looks like the most interesting play. Speaking of interesting plays, you've got to join me and Hans on Thursday. There's literally nothing going on. Hans and I are going to be on at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're talking artificial intelligence and how you can take advantage of it right now. He's going to present some really interesting ideas, including what stocks should you be buying and 5 stocks you definitely do not want to own in the new AI environment. So if you've not signed up, click the link in this email. And if you're watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe. All right, everybody. Heading into tomorrow, I think we've got CPI. There's a lot of balls in the air that could be interesting. Those bank earnings. Watch those bank earnings. Watch those CPI. I do believe tomorrow is going to be a day where the trend is your friend, unlike Tuesday. All right, everybody. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Hope you have a good one.